Last time on Lawful Stupid.
We stumble upon a wagon that's overturned. We find a ring with a green stone in it.
The most beautiful ring that has ever existed.
Don't pick that ring up.
I really want that ring.
Don't pick
No, I
that ring
really
up.
No, it's my ring.
I have
It
no.
Suddenly-
should have been right. It's his ring.
We're then transported to what appears to be our graves
Not our graves.
in a distant land. Different world.
And we meet a mysterious stranger.
You mean the Shambly thing or a different person?
There
No.
was Bone Shambles.
Bone Shambles was there, as was our tiefling barbarian friend that helped us out.
Maypri!
Maypri. We love her. She's very great to us. She helped us a lot.
We would not have survived were it not for her aid.
I certainly am
Confirmed.
going to miss Mayla the most. Maylas.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Nope,
Talk
let's
about that
not.
for just 1 second.
Let's just move on, because that's not going to happen ever again for you guys.
Part of the
But we
intro.
need to know.
We fused like as if Dragon Ball Z. Both of us were in rage mode. Two barbarians at the height of their strength and power, suddenly becoming one. Awesome 7-foot tiefling afro beast.
Which is
And
also
we did a
incidentally,
Kamehameha.
Tiefling Afro Beast is the name of my new EP. You can pick it up on iTunes.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the new
love
band
that.
name. Yep.
So
So we're really branching out into every market possible. We got music, we got videos. There's an indie film coming out soon, The Lawful Stupid. But
Tiefling afro
Yep.
beast.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Devin, you broke Devin. He's dead now.
I'm done.
That's
I'm done with
okay.
this.
He'd be okay. So yeah.
we oh.
No, I mean, do you have more to say?
I was gonna say we ended up fighting the Shambly thing. His name was Waylon. He was the gravekeeper for the place where we landed, and we killed him. We were not supposed to, but we did, and now we ended up back at the scene with the overturned cart.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Yeah, so you're at the overturned cart. What do you guys want to do? This is your show.
I want to compliment you guys on such a good intro. We did so good that time. We remembered what
I
happened.
don't really know. That's
No,
true.
you did really good.
I think we're traveling on to Eurie.
Good content.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You guys just want to continue traveling?
Yes.
Yeah, we got to make it to Eurie.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
a few days. So this is a good time to do any chatting among yourself if you want to do that. Otherwise, we'll just kind of go through the few nights and cycle them out.
Boys, I miss Maypri.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Oh, I
Is-
do.
It was a very short juncture in our paths.
I wonder where she's really from. If she's from this world, just somewhere else.
I wonder what she's doing right now.
And I look into the sun.
And you can segue into just a clip from the broadswords.
That's
Yeah,
I look
if you
directly into the
please.
sun, but it hurts my eyes, and then I shake it off.
No, I stop because it hurts. It's real bad hours. No, we're good. I think.
Okay, cool. So you guys set up camp for the first night and everything. You guys have like an order that you want to do things? Watch-wise?
Oh, we did establish that Rowan and we established that Rowan and Atlas were taking turns driving during the day, and I was sleeping.
We sleep during your shift.
And then you guys then I'd take the whole night watch. I guard, and they sleep, and then we do the same thing the next day.
Okay, cool. So while you're on guard, why don't you just roll me a perception check? Just for giggles. Let's roll some dice this time.
I would love to.
Very nice.
That is a 4, Monfrere.
Okay, cool.
You notice the sun is no longer there.
Yeah. You notice it's
The
dark
absence of sun.
outside. It's dark outside. That's what you notice. Yeah. So you are on guard.
This time of night?
Everything- Yeah. Everything kind of goes smoothly. They get their beddy by time. You're awake in the night. I assume pawning over your ring, maybe reading books, whatever you choose to do.
I
to
don't
spend
want
the
them
time.
to remember that I have that ring, so let's just keep that on the hush.
You don't want the players? Or-
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You do you.
I don't
Um,
know anything.
So yeah, the next day comes, you guys kind of are riding through, and another day goes without incident, and you camp again. You want to roll me another perception check?
I would love to. Big boy daddy got a unnatural 20.
Sounds good. Okay, so the next day, you guys are riding, and you're getting closer to Eurie. You're coming up on your last leg of this trip. And I want to point out, you can start seeing Eurie in the distance. And for those of you who have never visited, and Kristoff, who visited younger in his childhood, don't necessarily remember Eurie. But Eurie essentially looks like a 3-tier cake. It has 3 big circle platforms, like a 3-tier wedding cake almost, where the lowest one you can see the walls, and then the next one, the center or the next set of walls is taller and making it look like the second level, and then there's a 3rd tower. But, I mean, tower is not a strong enough word because it is huge. It makes up another platform. So it stands above the forest by a good deal. So you're essentially seeing what looks like a 3-tier cake from back here, but it's all walls. You can even see trees spanning above some of these walls, even on the 2nd and 3rd level.
And might I say that is hype. That is a cool bomb diggity city. I'm very excited for it.
That's some good architecture.
Yeah, I appreciate the compliment, and we'll keep going. So you guys travel for a few hours, and as you get closer, as you get closer, the hills and the trees ebb and flow, so you kind of gain a better sight of Eurie, but then it goes out of your sight as you're winding around these roads. And the closer you get, the roads are now paved in cobblestone. And you're starting to see civilization kind of spark up. And you're still hours out, maybe 2-3 hours, and you kind of go through this first village. And it's a smaller outcropping village, very small, couple farms on the side. People are milling about, but you can see it's much nicer than Oxbane's town, right? Where Oxbane was more, it had culture and it had, cobblestone roads, but these houses are nicer. You can tell there's a higher quality of living even for the farmstead.
When you say people are milling about, are they literally millers?
Yes, you have millers at the farm, but you also just have people in town. Like, this town is not so hurt that people have time to sit around. Like, the older generation is sitting around and not having to work in fields. They're not having to work in a shop or any type of job. They are in a point in their life that they can relax.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Boy, it seems like we better mind our P's and Q's going through here. It looks awful nice.
Yeah, I don't know what quite to make of this. It looks lovely. I don't always trust lovely.
I always trust lovely.
You would.
And
I'm just saying you're a man of high status. We know that you're used to this sort of high living, if you will.
Indeed.
So you guys make your way through this smaller village, and what you do notice, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Roll perception checks, please.
Nat 20.
16.
Yeah, mine's definitely lower than a 10.
Okay, so we're gonna do 3 tiers in the way this works. Alex, everything looks a-okay to you, brother. You love it. Rowan is just yes, this place is great. Kristoff, what you notice the guard is here. That there are actual military guards. Like, they are seasoned, they have sword, shields, real armor, and it's a mix of iron, like that gray iron color. Actually, gray iron is not the right color because I'm bad at colors, excuse me. Gunmetal gray is what I'm trying to explain. So it's a darker gray. And then they have purple accents, like a tabard is thrown over them, and they have purple centers in the shield. And Eurie's symbol is as elegant as it is ostentatious, because it's literally a crown with purple, covered in purple with gold edges. Devin, or Atlas, with your crit 20, you notice, and this is really coming from your Battleborn skills, you notice that these men are hardened soldiers. You can tell from the way they stand, the way their eyes are scanning you and the other civilians, that they have seen real combat. You can just see it on them.
Gentlemen, it looks like this is maybe not just a farm town, though. Notice those soldiers. And I kind of, without being so obvious, how far are they from us, the soldiers?
I mean, they're like 20, 30 feet, and I mean, they're within range to see you, and you know, they're like, imagine
like
you're walking
squad,
down like a
platoon,
15, 20 foot wide road, and there's patches of 3 and 4 every 20 or 30 feet, just kind of patrolling around. Like, it's a pretty dense patrol. I mean, you probably, as you walk from one end to the other town, you probably see about 20 guards. Which is, you know, for you, that's odd for such a small town to have that many guards, but...
Yeah, and I say just that, it seems a little strange that they have so many of the guard here at this point in time. Maybe we should ask around about what's going on.
They have lovely taverns, I can tell you that much.
I don't know. I don't see anything really weird here. It looks super nice.
Trust me, fellas. It's a little laugh.
Should we?
Do we have guards? Everyone, can we talk to the nearest ones closest to us?
Yeah, sure. So you approach some guards. Explain how you want to do that.
I'll kind of take lead. I'm confident in speaking to these individuals. I feel like, you know, I was in school with people who taught this and who taught these people, so it's not going to be a big deal for me to talk to just a regular foot soldier.
Sure.
So I walk over, non-threatening. I don't want to seem like, because I'm still orc. Excuse me, sir.
And one of the guards in this little trio you approach looks up. Not looks up, but yeah, looks up. You're taller than him. Looks up to you, but not in a way that he's worried about your size. He just has to look up to meet your eyes, and he meets your eyes, and he says, "Hail and well met."
Oh, yes, hail and well met. My friends and I'll turn and kind of wave to them, are new in town. We're on our way to Eurie. Could you give us a little insight to the village we're passing through currently?
What do you want to know?
Just the name. I mean, what do you do here? And I noticed there are an awful lot of foot patrols happening right now. I just didn't know if there's something we should be aware of on our travels to Eurie.
Well, this is Village 3. And as for the patrols, it sounds like you're not from around here.
That's true. This is my first time coming through.
Where are you coming from?
We're coming from Oxbane.
And what brings you to Eurie?
We're actually on a military mission of sorts, or I guess political mission of sorts ourselves.
And as you say military, you immediately get the attention of the 2 other guards. Like, that kind of heightens their awareness to you.
And that's what we.
Okay, I didn't know if you had more to say. Sorry, I interrupted you, but I wanted you to know that you saying military had perked up their interest. And he says, "So who are you there to speak to in Eurie?"
We're supposed to go to Kristoff. Who we going to again?
We're supposed to go to the consulate.
The consulate, gentlemen. That's where we're headed.
And the 3 of them exchanged glances. They clearly have no idea about the politics at all. And they kind of look back and go, "Well, the extra patrols are because of the orcs around here. I'm sure you know about that."
Why would you say that?
There's because you're coming from Oxbane. The reports haven't gone that far?
No, they haven't.
There's a lot of orcs in the area. I mean, it could be more than orcs, but we've only seen orcs, and there's a clan of raiders in the area, and they've been hitting these smaller villages.
So I guess just me coming through here, though, I'm very different. I'm not with them, obviously. It's not going to present any issues for me.
And he looks at you and looks at his 2 compatriots and says, "Well, you don't have the same skin color, so I don't know why anyone would assume you're with them."
What? So I'm guessing typical color of like the darker color orcs.
They're ashen gray.
Well, do they have any significant markings that would let us know that they are? I mean, if they're running at us, we get they're bad guys. But
I was about to say, if they're coming at you with blades, that's a dead giveaway. But no, something to say to the raiders. They're not exactly advertising what they're doing.
When did these attacks start?
A few fortnight ago, a couple months at least.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess if we'll hit up some spots around town and then be on our way.
Just do us a favor and don't make a fuss.
You got it. Thank you. And your name, sir?
My name is John.
I always thank you, John. I appreciate it. And I'll turn and I'll
Okay.
talk with the boys.
Please do that, so we can respond to you.
That would be lovely.
All right, boys. So seems as if we are probably going to run into some trouble on our way. So I don't know if
What
we want
kind
to take
of trouble?
orc problems. I mean, not me.
My whole life since I got to Oxbane has been orc problems. Am I right, Rowan?
That's right. Wait, no, I love Atlas.
Yeah,
He's so nice.
he got 99 problems, but an orc ain't one. Like what? So,
Because it's 98.
oh, I don't do well with numbers. Anyways,
There's too much math in this problem.
I don't know if there's anything interesting around here, any shops or anything. If not, we kick around or we could just head on to Eurie.
I really want to just get this whole situation over with, so probably Eurie, yeah?
All right.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody mistakes anything for anything it's not.
I hope that as well, Rowan.
I'm pretty sure that's
You've
one of
never said
Confucius's
anything
great
wiser
sayings.
before.
Indubitably.
Oh, the old philosophers of the arcane wars. When something is not what it could be, it not. Yes, perfect. Yeah, so you guys keep making your way through this area. I fucking hate you guys. So you make your way through this area, and you're still on cobblestone, and it's starting to get darker, but that's because the sun is setting in an angle where the trees are blocking. You still have plenty of daylight, at least a couple hours, but where you are, it's starting to get darker just because of the angle of things. But you notice there's torch lights on the pathway that have already been lit. Like, people understand what's going on.
It's handy.
And so you march for another hour or two, and you're getting much closer. You can actually, in the distance, even through the wooded area, because you're kind of walking through wooded area this whole time since you hit that village. Everything which from that village on is wooded area with some paths carved through it. And actually, halfway through, we'll say it's now, you kind of come up on like a little shop. A little guy, and he's got like a stand, and there's fruit and other little items. And as you're walking by, he goes, Hey! Do you need anything? And he starts like holding up food and like arrows. And as you guys continue to walk by, because you're not responding, okay, maybe next time.
I would love some cherries if you have them.
He like looks around and he picks up an apple. It's close enough, right? It's red.
Hard pass.
Okay.
I will just continue to eat this nectar of the gods, these delicious hard biscuits.
Okay, so you guys keep going. And as you get closer, you start to see the gates of Eurie, which are like tall. From what you saw in the distance, the walls didn't look that tall. But they have to be 20, 30 feet. Just the first set of walls, right? And this huge gate, old gridiron style gate. You're about 30 minutes, maybe an hour walk out. And what you come upon as you guys are catching good pace is you see 6 soldiers on horseback. But they're not wearing gunmetal gray and purple. They're wearing this almost pearl white armor with a fire red accent of colors. And they all have thick, elaborate capes on. And they all have shields and helmets. And Devin, or Atlas, you especially notice what is trailing behind them and attached to 4 horses. You see an orc bound at its hands and its feet, and it's being shuffled behind these horses, going at a normal walking pace. And it's a green orc, like what you would consider a common color for an orc.
How far out are they?
I mean, you guys are probably 60, 70 feet behind, and they're heading towards Eurie.
I'm going to turn to Atlas. Atlas, do you recognize their heraldry?
Can I roll for that?
You want to roll for the orc or the people?
The symbols.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll a history check.
Like which order they might belong to?
So that's a 14.
You have definitely seen them. You remember seeing those colors, their emblem, all of that stuff at the Battleborn College, but you can't remember the title that they carried. But you definitely know them to be of standing in the area.
Do I know kind of like a good or bad as far as
you know that they're good, that you believe they're inherently good. You believe.
I've seen. Maybe this is where the academic part of my studies was not so great. I remember seeing the symbols. I vaguely remember, if I'm correct, that these guys are good guys. In my opinion, they are good guys, but I'm not sure what's going on here.
That was worth a shot.
Okay, so you guys keep going up, and as you approach the gate, the gates are coming up to let them in because they were welcomed in. And you guys, how do you guys want to approach the situation as the gates are coming up and they're being let in?
I want to hail the guard at the gate.
Smart move. So guard comes out, looks very similar to one of the guards in the village you saw, the gunmetal gray armor and purple accents, and he says, what can I do you for?
We are ambassadors. We journey forth from the town of Oxbane. We come with a missive for the consulate from a Magister Tressel.
And he kind of looks you up and down and looks around, kind of just checking you guys out. And he says, well, you'll need some clearance to get to the consulate, but you know it's the consul's office you're looking for, not the consulate, I'm sure. Probably a regional difference.
Yes, I'm a stranger in your lands, and I rely upon your hospitality and good manners, sir.
Okay, well, we'll let the inner gates deal with you. You're welcome to come in, and if you start any trouble, we'll deal with it.
Perish the thought, good man. Thank you.
And so you guys kind of make your way in. And you can see the 6 horses and soldiers or men in armor kind of turn right and make their way through this town. And what you can see is this beautiful city. It's not lavish, but it's well taken care of. And you can see that this rung, the first level that you're at, goes on for what feels like forever before you can see the second wall. Like, it is... You can't imagine how large this city actually is just from stepping in and seeing how deep it goes to the next wall. And you can see shops and residential housing and... You know, most of you haven't seen housing where it's stacked up like this, almost in condos apartment style, because that's not something very common for this time, but they have it here. And there's ladders and steps going up to the next levels, and some houses are not nearly as nice and have things as simple as like a rope to climb up to the next level, but it's all clean. You can definitely tell it's well taken care of.
Finally. Civilization, gentlemen.
We're going to take a break from that beautiful, sweet, Lawful Stupid podcast to talk about another product spotlight, one that is near and dear to our heart, and that's Paladin role-playing.
Yeah, I actually use Paladin role-playing dice. I use their aged bronze full metal set. So if you want to roll like Kristoff Shindo, and that is to say real good all the time and make your players think make your DM think you're cheating, you need to hook up some of them.
It's that all 20 dice. It's great. The 20-sided dice.
They don't actually have that.
These black metal role-playing dice that they have, these black metal ones, oh my god, those are beautiful. I'm just going to have to order like 4 of those.
And they send you matching cases with them. Depending on which
Right?
set you get, which is awesome.
Pretty sick.
Look, I'm old school. Like, I still love the marble dice, and they got these black and blue ones that are real pretty. Like, they got my name on them. Like, I'm ordering right now. Like, finish this up
Right
while I
this
do
moment.
that, please.
Hey, before you go ahead and make that order, Alex, I think you're going to want to use a coupon code. This coupon code, it's exclusive for Lawful Stupid listeners, and I guess members if you're going to use it. And that coupon code is, Dwayne.
Lawful Stupid gets you 10% off your entire order. So go ahead and just put in a bunch of dice at once. You're going to need some of the marble ones. You need those metal black ones because that's my steez. And put in Lawful Stupid to the checkout page. Get 10% off your entire order. That's basically free, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not good at math, but it's basically free.
And Alex, while you're there, you're probably going to want to bookmark that page, right? Because they're coming out with some new lines this year, some crazy stuff. It's going to be exclusive that you can only get on their site. So you're probably going to want to just bookmark that, set up a Google Alerts, whatever it is that you do, because you're going to want to stick around for that.
Again, that's paladinroleplaying.com, and you can get 10% off using Lawful Stupid at checkout.
I'm sorry, guys. We gotta jump it. I'm sorry.
What do you do? What do you mean jump
You're
it?
gonna do a wild jump. You're gonna
I
kill us all.
don't have a choice.
Oh
I'm
no,
sorry.
this isn't good.
You know what happened last time?
We're not. I gotta go. Sorry. Hold on.
guys. We're taking fire.
Land is near a hospital.
Hold on.
Like what you hear? This is a small sample of the action and excitement that await you every Monday on the Chaotic Goodness Podcast. Download us on your favorite podcast app and join us for space opera, action, adventure, and lots of console cleaning. Let the chaos begin.
This is not like anything I've seen before. It's past civilization. It's like super civilization.
It's even more civilized.
And you can even see lanterns that are not powered by flame.
And they also properly wash themselves. Oh, thank you, sweet Lord.
I also see lanterns that are probably not powered by flame.
Arcane lanterns?
Ooh, pretty.
Sympathy lamps.
Maybe there's those mysterious mood lamps I've heard so much about.
Mm.
When you say that, one near you gets purple and starts shaking. No.
Yay!
That means you're in love.
By sympathy lamps, do you mean they feel the same pain that you do?
I couldn't explain the intricacies of magic tingles to someone such as you.
I believe that's different. That would be empathy.
Hey, come on now.
And I look over at Chris and go, does he know anything?
Shrug.
Oh,
You're right.
shots fired.
I don't know, but when he talks, I just can't help but listen.
That is very
Nonsense or
true.
not.
Yeah, so
Rowan,
this is
say words.
There are these words that I say, and I said them just now.
Like music.
so as
Beautiful.
you come in here, there's shops and there's almost anything you could want to shop for. It exists in this town. You can see signs and you can see, and the signs aren't just like pieces of wood with writing on them. There's potion bottles and swords crossed and They are advertising to people because the competition is so stiff.
I bet you could even buy cherries here.
Only one way to find out. Do you guys want?
Is there a big cherry sign?
No, there's a big like fruit bouquet sign where it's like an apple and bananas and grapes.
They're never gonna have cherries everywhere we go for the rest of the campaign. It's like, hey, you have cherries? Unfortunately, we're out. That gentleman just the last
that
one.
guy just for the last one, and then a fight starts. Yeah, no, I love it.
I'll never have a proper tequila sunrise. No.
You carry on like a shaker. You're just shaking your drink, waiting for cherries.
Cherries?
Cherries?
Spare some cherries, my lord.
Please.
Make haste. It's above the optimal temperature already.
The tannins. I don't know if tequila has tannins. What do they do? Tannins. They're escaping.
So what do you guys want to do?
I don't know. Go to the consul's office.
Yeah, I need to find the consul's office first.
All right, so you can look around, you see signs, and you see signs that direct you towards the second level, or what they call the center ring. Sorry, the middle ring. Excuse me. So you walk through, and you see a very peaceful town, and you see guards. I mean, lots of these guards that you saw in the last village. It is very thickly populated with security detail. And you get to this second gate, and it doesn't look like the first one, where the first one was, a gate with holes in it, and you can kind of see through it. This one's more like ironclad doors, and there's 4 guards in front of it. And you approach these guards?
I held the guard.
Yeah, so the guard kind of waves you over because he's not leaving his post. And as you approach, he says, "What can I do you for?"
We bear a missive from Magister Tressel of Oxbane for the consul's office.
Oh, do you know what consul you're seeking?
No.
Oh,
The
If you could point me in the right direction, I would greatly appreciate it. It has to do with the embassy betwixt the great city of Eurie and Oxbane.
Who's your ambassador?
I believe it's hard for me to remember. Ambassador Shear? Does that sound right?
That's the one. Yep.
Yes, Ambassador Shear. Lovely person.
I've heard only great things.
I believe she is indeed here. I don't see why you could get through. Do you guys have an association card or something to get you into the center ring?
I have these papers that bear the seal of the Magister Tressel.
Do you have those?
I hope so. We did.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pat myself as if to look for them.
I don't remember.
What did I
him giving
put
them
those
to you,
papers?
But I mean,
Yeah, he gave us papers with his seal. He took his signet ring and he stamped them.
I'm gonna assume that's right, but that sounds wrong. I don't remember him giving you any. Really.
I might have made it up.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
fair.
pretty sure you made it up.
Okay.
But if there's something else you want us to do in this story, we won't have the papers.
Yeah, I could not have papers. That's
Yeah, I
fine.
cannot have papers. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, I mean, it only makes sense that he gave you some type of written command.
I would think a missive. Yeah. That's
Oh,
fine.
Shambles
I
got
keep been saying it.
you just keep saying it, and it'll be true. It'll become reality. Just believe it hard. And
That's the
yeah, so
secret.
you hand him these papers, and he looks over them, and it makes sense to do a literacy joke here, but we're not gonna do that. And we're above that type of humor. He looks over it and he goes, "Looks good to me," and he motions for you guys to move on. And he kind of motions towards a door to the left of the bigger door, though. And it's just a smaller, one person can walk through kind of doorway versus this bigger, large door.
What should we do with our cart then?
It's a good point. You could probably
Can
put
we
it in a
just-
stable here.
Oh, I can park it there. Can I get some water and oats for our horses? They've had a rough ride.
No, you misunderstand. We're not stabling your horses. There are stables on the outer ring that you can put them up. But
En contraire. Time for a diplomacy roll. Oh, I mean, if that's is the way that we treat the ambassadors from neighboring cities such as Oxbane, then that's fine. I'll make sure to mention that when I speak to the consul.
Do me a favor and roll a persuasion check.
I would love to. That is a big boy's 22.
Impressive.
I'm good
He
at
says,
this.
Best we can do is stable them nearby, and you can keep the receipt, and we can refund it when you come back through. You pay now, we'll write something down, but I don't have anywhere for you to put them. That's other than the stable nearby, and we can keep market of it.
Oh, you can validate my parking. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. If that I don't know what that means, but it sounds correct. Just don't make a fuss.
I won't.
And
So good man. What was your name again?
Eric.
Eric, you're a good lad, and I appreciate all that you do for this fine city.
That's what my mom says. And so he kind of like takes your cart from you and heads it over to the nearest stable. And one of the other guards kind of says, "Just this way," and leads you to the smaller door.
Fantastic.
The camera pans to reveal our guardian and hero, Tringa. He is walking down a long path with cavernous walls on each side, and before him a large, extravagant door stands. And the light is low, and you can hear the soft pattering of water dripping. And Tringa looks forward and sees a keyhole, and he can tell that this is exactly what Renoir had described. And as Tringa is examining this keyhole, he hears a skittering behind him. And he turns around, sword drawn, shield at the ready, to witness two dark, shaky creatures, and they're twice his size. And he looks out through the visor in his helmet, and he can tell that he doesn't have much of a chance, and he whispers, "Kristoff, Shin." Okay, you guys want to proceed?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys go in this door, and you immediately notice that it's dark, and it's lit by lanterns. And you have to walk up something to the tune of about a dozen staircases.
I cast levitate.
You cast
I grab his leg.
I don't know that spell. I'm sorry.
Okay, you walk up the staircases.
Like a peasant.
Like a peasant.
Yep.
Yep.
Understood.
So you have to go up a dozen or so staircases until you hit another door. And when you hit that door, you finally walk out onto the ground. It is like dirt ground, which then leads you into cobblestone, and you see more buildings, bigger buildings, and ornate. They're much nicer, and you see way more military. It is just covered with soldiers, but then there's also the people in the white armor that you saw with the red accent. There's people in nice robes and books, and you see signs for guild names and military outposts. You can read from where you are the
Archaeological.
Thank you. This is going to be a long podcast. The Archaeologists Guild. And you see markings for the Anvil Guild. And then from there, you can also see the Guild of the Norloth.
So I'm exhausted from these steps, first and foremost. So I'm going to get off of this dirt onto the cobblestones. I'm going to collapse to my knees. Thank God. Finally, civilization.
And somebody walking by looks at you strangely and says to kind of your group, but mostly to you, and she says, "Are you all right?"
I am now, sweet madam. I am now.
Okay. Is there something I can help you with? You don't look like you're from around here, or certainly not our ring.
Could you please, if you would, point me in the direction of the consul's office, please?
And
I want to help him to his feet. Because he's still on his knees, I imagine, having a conversation.
Yes, I sure am.
Do you do that with like a scruff of his neck, just like lift him up?
No, I'll
As-
do two
as for
under.
always.
I'll give more respect. Two
Oh,
under
yeah,
the
you
armpit.
pick him up like a toddler. Whoop.
Yes.
Um, and she points at the wall in the distance, and again, you can see just how far you are from the next wall, and just how deep this city is. And she points and says, "Well, it's in the center ring, of course."
Thank you so much, madam, for your time.
And what is your name?
Of course, my name is Jesse.
Oh, thank you, Jesse.
Of course. What were your names?
Oh, my name is Atlas.
I am Kristoff Shindo.
Rowan.
Well, the pleasure is mine, boys.
Thank you, Jesse. Have a good day.
Jesse,
hope
what is it that you do here in the capital city of Eurie?
Oh, myself? I'm one of the architects.
Oh, what do you architect?
Everything, actually.
All the buildings? Because it's a fine, ornate buildings. I'm very impressed.
You seem very
Oh.
talented.
No, I don't deal with the buildings. I mean more everything. And she kind of motions around.
I'm a chair architect. You all
No,
chairs.
she kind of motions like to you, to the grass, and just kind of to the world. She motions that but doesn't say it.
Oh, wait a second.
Like a city planner.
Like a supreme architect? Like some sort of deity?
I would not use those words. No.
What? A day in the life, step by step, what do you do?
Well, I study in the Architects Guild, of course.
So you don't actually make anything.
And she kind of looks at you and smiles, and with her right hand, you see a arcane orb form and spin, and you can. So you're a sorcerer.
Holy shit, magic! Oh wait, no, I know what that is.
You have magic at the roots of who you are. It was not studied, it was not learned, but you can see numbers and equations in the sphere as it builds. And she builds a magic lamp right there on the spot. And then it forms and places in her hand. And she hands it to you, Atlas. And she says,
Oh my goodness.
"That's what we do."
Do it again, but slower.
I don't think it's a magic trick. I think it's
wanna
like it
see how
is
she does
magic, but not a magic trick.
And she looks at you, Kristoff, and says, "Listen, if you want to learn how to do that, you can join the guild. I'm not going to show you on the street."
I mean,
Can
Atlas could forge one like that.
Could I join that guild?
But, if you're not associated with a guild, you can certainly apply.
You could certainly try.
Well, thank you, Jesse. Can I keep this, or was this just to prove a point?
And she smiles and she says, "Oh no, I don't think you want to pay for that."
You're probably right.
And as you hand it back to her and it touches her hand, it dissolves into those arcane numbers and that blue magic, and then sews itself back into her hand. She goes, "I do hope you find what you're looking for."
Thank you.
I'm so impressed.
And she kind of makes her way away from you.
What is her race and class? I want to date this Jesse.
She is a
I wish
half
that
elf.
I had Jesse's girl.
Yeah, exactly. She's a half elf.
Hello, Miss Lady.
Okay, do you guys want to head towards that center ring now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, if you've made it this far, there's going to be plenty of exposition setting up this town, being as big as and powerful as it is. So I apologize, but I hope you enjoy it. Should have said that on the front end. So you guys travel these cobblestone roads, and you see these guilds and the military, and you're starting to see different color robes and different color tabards and just the vast variety of guilds and people. And you see some some forges and some more practical shops, but they're not advertised as shop, but you can tell they're creating things in there. And you make it to the center ring finally, and what you notice is these two guards at this gate, they're accompanied by two other men in robes. Purple robes.
I give a stately bow. Greetings, gentlemen. We are here as emissaries from the great town of Oxbane on behalf of Magister Tressel. We have a missive for the consul.
And one of the robed gentlemen steps forward. He's older, he's a human, and he's got some gray hair. And he looks at you and says, well, that's all and good, but do you have anything to prove it?
Yes, my good sir. Here are these. Here's the papers. This missive.
And he takes it, and while he's reading, he says, "And your names?"
I am Kristoff Shindo.
Rowan.
And I'm Atlas Faria.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And he looks over and he goes, "I see, listed here. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Well, boys, since you only have a missive, I'm going to have to just kind of take note of who you are." And he walks up to you and hands you each a purple gem. Do you all accept?
Shiny? Yeah.
Oh, super! Yeah,
Oh,
thank
yes.
you.
And
Free
he
gems.
kind of waves, and the gem spins in your hand and attaches itself onto your wrist.
I am displeased.
I don't like this.
It
It's
fits
just so
perfectly.
we can keep up with where you are. Once you leave the center ring, we will take those back.
I insist you take it now.
Then absolutely. And he takes the gem and he says, "You boys can go on."
Thank you. I
Oh,
go
not
on
you.
through the gate.
He stops you. Not you. Sorry. You don't go in without a gem. Until you have status in this town, you're in a guild, you're respected, I cannot allow you in here without some form of tracking.
I am going to do a thing that I've never done before. I've been listening to people speak in this town throughout the entire time we've been here interacting, which means I can use my mastermind feat to perfectly acclimate myself to the culture that I am currently in.
Okay.
I'm going to speak to him in a tone in which pleases him. I'm going to say, "Master, my name is Kristoff Shindo. I am noble from the land of silence, and I understand that status must be appreciated here. And as such, I would ask you to grant me the benefits that bestow my title."
And he kind of looks over you and he evaluates what you're saying and he says, "The only thing I can do for you is to give you a detail. You can have the gem or you can have 2 guards escort you around. Your choice."
I will take the 2 guards, thank you very much.
Okay. And he motions to another guard who then runs off and he says, while he's waiting for the guards, he says, "So what is a man from silence doing here in Eurie?"
Well, some areas, not this great city of Eurie, which is so magnificent, a little bit more backwards. They need assistance when it comes to matters political and delicate, such as the poor city of Oxbane, and as such, they have required my talents in order to be an emissary here to your consul.
Well, I can't wait to see what you come up with. And while Oxbane may not be as lavish as here, they offer quite a bit to the kingdom.
Every cog in the wheel, my friend. Every cog in the wheel.
That's true. Do you carry weapons from Oxbane, or do those?
Not from Oxbane. This is custom made in silence. My crossbow.
He kind of looks over them and he goes, "That's too bad." And another guard comes by. Go ahead.
Rowan, show him the shovels. Yeah, I know you got a few. These are from
I've
Oxbane.
got some shovels. They're
made by
all
the finest master smith.
And he looks at him and he goes, "Huh, those don't seem to stand up to the other weapons I've seen from Oxbane."
They're just they're shovels.
No, but
Just
I
for
can
your
tell
information,
I can
one of
see
these
the
shovels
weapon
has
doesn't look good.
penetrated a Master Arcanist's robot.
And did some major damage.
So, a robot?
Yes. Some sort of construct.
That makes sense.
It may seem as though it is but a mere tool, but tools are just as useful as weapons, and they are made with the same method, which I'm sure you're familiar with, torrential forging.
And
And
you
lots of
can
love.
kind of see his eyes light up, and he says, "Well, I wish that were the case. Those are not made with torrential forgery.
I assure you that they are. Atlas, tell them whether these are made with the torrential forgery that you
They
that
are
you do with
most
the art.
certainly made with torrential forgery.
Atlas,
Even
if you can explain what torrential forgery is, then you can know this skill.
So torrential forgery is when you cascade different temperatures of water onto a piece of metal as it's coming out of the heat. It helps to strengthen the metal all at once instead of having to wait a long time for the metal to become strengthened.
Roll a deception check, because you super do not know what torrential forgery is in this world.
That's a 1.
Oh no!
He looks you over. And he goes, and he then looks to Kristoff and goes, he may be a strong bodyguard, but it's not appreciated when the dumb try to lie.
I believe our business is concluded, sir. You have insulted me, as well as my companion. We will wait your guards, and I have no further business with you.
Happy by me.
Yeah, let me tell you one thing, sir. We're here to find out what happened to your ambassadorship. That's what we're here for, to help you out. And you have the audacity. No.
He says, what happened to my ambassadorship?
Yeah, we don't know. That's what we're here for.
You're just admitting way too many things right now. You're just saying way too many things. He does not need to know that we know.
These are nice shovels. I'll not have him.
I'm going
talk
to
this
They're
way.
the
need you
nicest
guys
shovels.
to just wait here.
We will wait.
Fine.
And the other dispatch of guards comes up, and now you have 4 guards around you, and the guy you were talking to disappears. And you have about 15 minutes before he comes back. Is there anything you want to do in particular?
I'm going to pull the boys into a huddle.
Okay, you can do that.
We've stepped into a bit of a dangerous game, my friend.
No, it's fine. We've got this. He already thinks you're dumb. Just describe Sheer as being a tall minotaur. And be like, oh, he's just mistaken.
We say nothing further to a manifestation. We speak to the consul and no one else. We show no more of our hand to these people. The only thing that we have going for us right now is these motherfuckers do not know who we are. They have no idea who we are or what we're about, and that secret is our power. So as far as they know, you are the Master Smith of Oxbane. As far as they know, Rowan is the greatest bard who created all the great songs that we all sing in every tavern, which is probably true. I'm not really sure about his backstory. As far as they know, I am the finest diplomat who's ever lived. And if we keep it that way, we'll be powerful. And if we tell them the truth, we'll be no one.
The truth
I follow.
isn't true anyway.
I can't argue with that because it's very abstract, but let's maintain that sense of vagueness as we go forward in our mission. We speak to the consul, no one else. Do not address them, do not look at them, tell them no further information.
What about the stones? Should we also request guards and get rid of these just in case things get hairy, or do we want to just play it cool?
Frankly, it clashes with my outfit. That was my big situation. It's probably fine.
Okay.
But they will track you with it.
And you hear a...
Ah. Oh, fantastic. She is a scant elven woman.
Yes.
With auburn hair tied back in a ponytail, and piercing eyes.
Yes, and also in and out.
Your descriptions are mind-numbingly off, but that's okay. But that's okay. That's because that's what you believe her to look like. And when she comes down the stairs, you immediately notice that is not the Ambassador Sheer that you have seen. And she approaches, and she has beautiful red hair pulled back in 2 braids. And she's a half elf, and she stands about 5'2", 5'3", so she's not a great tall woman. And she's wearing the purple royal garb in this very fine dress, and she approaches the group. And she says, "Are these the people you told me about, Winston?" And Winston looks at her and says, "Of course, Ambassador." And she turns to you 3 and says, "What business do you have here with me?" And right then is where we're going to end this episode.
I want to know what happens.
And so we want to say a lot of things. We actually have a lot of things to talk about on the Exodus
So many things.
Episode. First of all, we have a website, and it's great, and it's going to have all this cool stuff, and I'm going to put descriptions of Eurie, and by the time you hear this, you're going to have some of these descriptions of Eurie in there. We hit 600 followers on IG. We are blowing up. Almost at 1,000 downloads. So many cool things. We even have a iTunes review. Devin, do you want to read that?
Sure do. Just put me on the daggum
Bob,
spot.
Yeah, go ahead. Somebody else.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, it's not our only iTunes review. It's just one that we're privy to.
It is my distinct pleasure to inform you all that since we began recording, we have joined the Kilo Club. We are at 1,005. So that's pretty cool. And that's all of you out there listening. It's you guys are the ones who do this. And it's crazy to me. I said when we started this thing, if there's just like one really dedicated dude who enjoys our show and he listens to it and he likes what we do, I will do it forever. And that's 1,000 downloads. So that's multiple people who enjoy it, and they're leaving us reviews on iTunes, and they're doing fan art, which is mind blowing. Somebody drew Kristoff.
Yes.
Somebody drew him, and they put him in a thing, and it was so cool. And people are commenting, and there's such a positive response, and we love you all so much. Thank you. We put a lot of effort in this. I know we're putting a lot of our time into it. We're putting a lot of our hearts and souls into it. And the fact that you guys like it, it elates me to no end. And thank you.
So that iTunes review, Devin.
Yeah, so iTunes review is from Nurse Mania. So I'm guessing they're a nurse. So the podcast is so funny. Thank you. I like that you can really hear their personalities of the players come out. They have fun with it and try to include everyone equally. As I've continued to listen to podcasts, they've gotten better. They said they really liked episode 12, and they recommend the podcast to everyone. Keep it up, boys. Hashtag Lawful Stupid for life.
Well, that is super kind.
Yeah, that's like the nicest
Thank
thing.
you, Nurse Mania, whoever you are.
I imagine she is a nurse who caters exclusively to WWF wrestlers.
Yes.
Welcome to Nurse Mania, brother.
She's really in with John Cena, and that's how he is, just as ripped as he is.
Hard to treat any of his wounds because
so good.
We also have a Patreon, so if you haven't stopped by to see the different ranks and rewards you can get just by donating, even if you just donate $1, it all helps. It helps us with our web hosting fees. It helps us with podcast hosting fees. There's so much that goes into this that we don't even realize until we're hand over foot forking out the cash, but we have a blast doing it, and that's honestly what's really important. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm beyond grateful to the people liking our page and following us and giving away their dollars. It's amazing.
3 whole real life people signed up to give dollars to us each month so we can keep doing what we're doing and make more and more content. And it is just phenomenal and amazing that 3 real life actual people would do that. And thank you so much.
They believe in us.
In our Hall of Heroes on lawfulstupid.org, our website. So you can go there and you can see their names and you can probably find them on the internet somewhere.
Yeah,
like Facebook.
one of them's our good friend Bianca, who just did an episode with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the Broadswords. So
that's so, and hit him up, Tom. Thank you. And if you feel so inclined to help us keep making awesome content like we try to do, please consider giving us a few shekels. A couple dinars.
$500.
Yeah, we'll still make it
greedy.
Regardless, but
all right, yeah,
it'll be easier.
And there's super cool stuff you can get. You can get posters, and you can hang out with us in Slack, and you can see some exclusive content that's coming up that nobody else is going to listen to. And as we move, it's going to be cool. So, like, if you want to see that stuff, please do it.
We appreciate you listening. Make sure you tune in for the next episode. It's going to be even better because what's going to happen to these lawful, stupid idiots? Goodbye.
Who knows?
Yes.
Bye.